Hi, my name is Everett. Today I am reading Who Would Win, Polar Bear vs. Grizzly Bear by Juri Pilata, illustrated by Rob Bolster. During the Arctic winter, polar bears and grizzly bears live far away from each other, but during the summer months, while looking for food, polar bears and grizzly bears sometimes end up in the same location. What would happen if they met each other? What if they had a fight? Who would win? Scientific name of polar bear, Ursus maritimus. Meet the polar bear. Polar bears are considered sea mammals. They spend most of their time on the frozen sea. They prefer to live near the edge of the ice pack. They are the largest of all bears. Fun fact, there are no polar bears in the Arctic. Remember, polar bears, North Pole, penguins, South Pole. There are no penguins in the Arctic. Scientific name of grizzly bear, Ursus arctos horribilis. Meet the grizzly bear. The grizzly bears are mammals that live on land. You can tell grizzlies by the huge bump on their shoulders. This is a muscle they use for digging. Did you know there are no grizzly bears in the southern hemisphere? Sorry, black bear, you are not in this book because you are not as big and fierce as grizzlies and polar bears. Fun fact, while on a hunting trip, President Teddy Roosevelt refused to shoot an old bear. Newspapers teased him, and from then on, cute stuffed toy bears were called teddy bears. Fun fact, male bears are called boars. Female bears are called sows. Forget about the giant panda. You are plant-eating and are no match for a polar bear or a grizzly. Polar bears have snow white fur. Their color allows them to blend in with their environment, snow, slush, and ice. Fun fact, polar bears have black skin under their fur. White fur. Polar bears' names: Ice Bear, Nunuk, White Bear, Sea Bear. Did you know a polar bear's white fur is actually translucent, means see-through to or clear. Grizzly bears come in 4 different colors: dark brown, brown, reddish brown, and blonde. Fun fact, grizzlies are also called silver tips. Dark brown, brown, reddish brown, blonde. The colors allow grizzlies to blend in with their environments: fallen leaves, dirt, rocks, and trees. 10 feet. Did you know the polar bear is an apex predator? An apex predator is an animal that has no natural enemies. Interesting fact, polar bears can stand on their hind legs. Polar bears are the largest predatory land animal. Polar bears can grow up to 10 feet tall. There is a kindergartner next to a polar bear. 8 feet. Fun fact, grizzlies can also stand on their hind legs. A grizzly can stand 8 feet tall. They tower over you. Fun fact, grizzlies can also... Oh, I already read that, sorry. A polar bear paw is larger than this book. Did you know a polar bear paw is slightly webbed? It is like an oar, perfect for swimming. Remember, if you ever see polar bear's footprints, pay attention. Unpacked people say you never see the one that gets you. This is a grizzly track. A track is a footprint. Their front claws can be 4 inches long. Fun fact, humans have nails on their fingers and toes. Bears have claws. Each paws have 5 long, sharp claws. Polar bears are excellent swimmers. They can swim farther than 50 miles in one stretch. Polar bears mostly eat meat from the ocean: walrus, seals, sea lions, and fish. Seals are their favorite food. Fun fact, polar bears do the dog paddle. Did you know? Yikes, a polar bear can eat a human, but it hardly ever happens. Not many people live near the polar bears. Grizzly bears are good swimmers, but they prefer standing in the river to catch fish. If a grizzly stands on the right spot, a marauding salmon might jump right into its mouth. Interesting fact, grizzlies eat salmon, trout, apples, berries, honey, and anything they can get their paws on. Grizzlies have also been known to eat moose, elk, caribou, rodents, sheep, grubs, and clams. Not a fun fact. Each year a grizzly eats a few people. Open wide, polar bears are carnivore. Teeth. Canine teeth are in front and huge molars in the back. Important fact. Polar bears can smell a seal through ice 3 feet thick. Fun fact. Carnivore means meat eater. Grizzly bears have teeth that are similar to polar bears. Grizzlies have such a good sense of smell they can detect a dead animal from 10 miles away. A polar bear can run 25 miles per hour. That is faster than a human can run. Polar bears can run down some caribou. Speed limit 25. So who would win if they had a fight, the polar bear or the grizzly bear? Grizzly bears look slow, but don't be fooled. Grizzly bears can easily outrun a human. They are fast. Did you know a grizzly bear is faster on land? A polar bear is probably faster on ice. Speed limit 35 miles per hour. That's how fast a grizzly bear can run. Here's a polar bear skeleton. Goofy fact, a polar bear are left-handed. All polar bears are left-handed. Interesting fact, the sun bear from Asia grows to be only about 5 feet tall, the average weight of a human. Bear skeletons are somewhat similar to humans. 4 limbs, 5 fingers, 5 toes, backbones, ribs, heads, and necks, and hips. Here is the complete skeleton of a grizzly bear. Sad fact, the silver bear from Mexico was hunted to extinction. Interesting fact, scientists have studied the bear DNA and think that the polar bear and the grizzly bear are descended from the same animal. Both adapt from their environments. Polar bears prefer the sea. Grizzlies prefer to live on land. Only an expert osteologist, a bone scientist, can tell their bones apart. Most polar bears are solitary animals. They rarely fight each other and mostly they stay away from each other. Grizzly bears are also solitary animals, but groups of grizzlies sometimes fish together during the salmon. Male polar bears do not hibernate. They spend all winter looking for food. They might build a snow cave to sleep away an unusual bad storm. Snow cave. Female polar bears build a maternity den, usually in the snow and ice, to spend the winter and take care of their cubs. The converse, the mom's energy. Did you know hibernation is when an animal goes into resting state and in captivity with a slower heartbeat, no eating or drinking, and lower body temperature? Rock cave. Just before winter, grizzlies eat as much as they can to fatten up for a long sleep. Grizzly bears have a deep winter sleep, but it is not true hibernation. A grizzly can wake up and suddenly attack you. In the springtime, grizzlies are hungry. Watch out. Funny polar bear stories. A U.S. Navy nuclear sub surfaced in the Arctic ice only to find a few polar bears snoozing around. Sometimes polar bears take naps in the funniest of positions. A famous nature photographer waited for days to take a good picture of a polar bear. He was eating lunch in his pickup truck one day when he saw a big surprise in the rear view mirror. Funny grizzly bear stories. An Alaskan man came home to find a grizzly relaxing in the jacuzzi. A sailor anchored in a harbor in Alaska was awakened by a noise. He found the grizzly walking around his yacht. Scared out of his wits, he pushed the grizzly off with an oar. Using a cheeseburger, a tourist lured a grizzly bear into his car. The foolish man wanted to get a nice picture of the bear sitting with his wife. The woman screamed, and the confused bear ran away. It is summer. A polar bear steps off the ice onto the beach. A grizzly bear comes out of the woods. They see each other. They can smell each other. Both bears stand to get a better look. Then it happens. The grizzly charges at the polar bear, growling and showing his teeth. The polar bear crouches down, paws up, ready for battle. Running at full speed, the grizzly knocks over the polar bear. The polar bear gets right back up and fights back. Whap! He smacks the grizzly in the face. Ouch! They claw, scratch, and bite. It is a nasty fight. They wrestle, each trying to get the advantage. Rolling around, both bears are dirty from the sand and mud. The grizzly is relentless. It keeps on fighting. Suddenly, the polar bear sees no point in fighting anymore. There is no reason to fight to the death. The polar bear runs away. The grizzly wins, but now he is sore and tired. He hopes he never runs into a polar bear again. These two bears are so similar. Next time, the outcome could be quite different. Who has the advantage? Checklist. Polar bear versus grizzly bear. Size, polar bear. Claws, grizzly bear. Hunting skills. Grizzly bear. Teeth, grizzly bear. Sense of smell, grizzly bear. Speed, grizzly bear. Family, polar bear. Hibernation, polar bear. Grizzly bear wins 2 times. Bye-bye. Hope to read to you again soon. Next time I will be reading Crab versus Lobster by Jerry Pilata. Illustrated by Rob Bolster. So bye-bye.